Good morning, party people. Decided to come outside, make my morning clip, and brr, it's a little cold out here. Not too cold, just a little. I think the wind is what really gets me. But all done here in PA. Headed into Maryland, do a couple of PCVs, some suspension work, some timing belt jobs, and going to keep it rolling. So appreciate everybody watching and being prepared for me when I show up. Oh, I want to make a note of one thing. Yesterday, went to go do a timing belt job with Garrett and opened up his parts. One of his parts was broke. Couldn't do the timing belt job. Had to go to the dealer and purchase a part from the dealer to get that taken care of. So, if you have parts, open up all your boxes. Try to make sure you got everything there and try to make sure nothing's broken so you can get that rectified before I arrive. Nothing like taking an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 2-day break while we replace a busted part that needs to be changed. So keep that in mind. Appreciate you watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to kick off the day replacing this dryer. It just has a hole in the side of it, rusted out. First thing I'm going to do is take this bolt off right there, top of the bracket. Then I'm going to take the bolt loose down there on the side of it. Hopefully that will allow me to raise or drop it, but really there's not going to be any raise or dropping it until I disconnect the line here. So I'm going to go get my tool to disconnect this line. So taking this bracket loose and taking that bracket loose should allow me to maneuver it around so I can unlock the latch here with my tool and get this thing out of here. Move this headlight plug out of the way. Move the wiper plug out of the way. Put a 10mm ratcheting box and wrench on there. Getting that one out. Then I'll go do the same for the one on the bottom. I use my black line tool to get this spring opened up. This thing has a spring in there. You got to get that opened up and start the pipe coming out. I had a hard time getting that started to come out. So once I had that pressed in there, I started wedging my breaker bar in here to push it that way toward the driver's side. And I've been wiggling it. Now you can see I got a little bit of space there where it's coming out. I need to get it to work the rest of the way off. Then I get the dryer out of the bracket and unbolt that bolt that goes on that part. Getting that thing back on is going to be fun. I was massaging it with the breaker bar and it popped out a little bit more. Alright, I think we're free. Just pumping it. Give it a pumping action with the bar. It popped out. So now I got to get the dryer the rest way off that bracket. I'm going to have to pull that screw all the way out there. Drop that thing up or down so I can unscrew it. I got it pushed down. Now I'm going to get it out of this little bracket so that I can unscrew it. Let me work on that. 2 hands. I'm going to put 2 wrenches on it. One to hold this nut and one to turn that nut and get this thing off of here. I got it pulled down this way. Push this bracket up like that. Now I'm going to put a wrench on this nut, wrench on that nut, break this loose and screw it off. Then I'll be getting a new one, seeing how that's going on. Best way to break that loose is get 2 wrenches kind of close together like that. One on the lower one, one on the upper one. Put 2 hands on them and squeeze them together. That normally will break them loose better than anything, give you some good leverage. I got 2 hands on them, twisted them and pulled them apart. Finally got the dryer out. I see it's got a seal there. Looks pretty dry. It had a little hole right there. I believe that's the hole that was leaking. The new dryer comes with a lot of different seals. Not sure if any of them are the right size, but it also comes with that spring that was in there. That spring is what holds this pipe in there. They got a new spring there, so I may try to hook that out of there, put this one in. And I imagine you could use these seals on the compressor connections and or the condenser connections. But let me go ahead and screw this pipe on, see if it's got a seal in there, and try to get this plug back in, then put that bracket on there. This cap came with a plug in there, but I don't see any seal. So I'm gonna see if one of these seals fit in there. If not, I'm gonna try to take the one out of the hole and put it in there, get this thing screwed on. I lifted that up, started it on the lines, twisted it a little bit to get it in position, got it slid over the seals, took the vice grips off these pipes here, put my breaker bar in between them, get me some leverage, started pushing it on, massaging it on, and it clicked over that spring. So I am good to go. Went on a little easier than I expected, so I'm hoping those seals won't leak. I left the old seals on there because none of these new seals seem the same size, big enough. So let me turn this bracket around, mount that against the frame of the car, and service this thing. Now I recommend you have it vacuumed down like you're supposed to. Make sure it holds vacuum, not leaking, and then service it professionally. I don't think this is going to happen here. I'm just making my recommendations. Turn this bracket the way it should go. I'll figure it out. And then mount it. Tighten this one up too. Lost a little rusty screw that went through there. In charge of 2 screws today. Lost one. Imagine that. Now I'm going to screw that bottom one in that'll hold the bottle into the clamp, and then we can service this thing. I sawed that screw so it could be shorter. Plug this back in, and we're ready for servicing. Do you have your servicing equipment, or are you going to get it professionally serviced? How you going to do this? You going to service it yourself, Mike? Time to get this ABS module. There it is, folks. All ready to roll. Made in China. The only place we can find one for the car, I don't think Volvo had one, but I'm not sure. But we got this one from Amazon. Sometime you got to go do it that way. Here's a BCS boost control solenoid. This top one is yellow, blue, and red. This is how this stuff is supposed to be hooked up on your car. In '98, they introduced the turbo control valve, which looks like a purge valve, but don't use that valve in the place of a purge valve. At any rate, it also has a yellow, a blue, and a red mark. Now, when you're installing these, they have vacuum lines hooked up to them. I think they're 4mm. The blue one, the one in the middle, goes to the bottom of your air box intake tube. This is your turbo intake tube. It has a vacuum line there. This blue goes to that vacuum line. The yellow, the one on top, goes to the wastegate actuator. I got a turbo here, same kind of turbo, TD04. You see yellow there, wastegate actuator. So this top one goes to that. The yellow goes to that. The red goes directly to the turbo. It reads the pressure off of the turbo going into the charge pipe. That is located underside of the turbo inlet. When this is installed, your turbo inlet tube goes here. That's this tube here. And this connection here is the red connection back to your BCS or TCV. So there you have it. The yellow goes to the wastegate actuator. The blue reads the air off the intake tube, and the red goes to the bottom of the turbo down here. This nipple here. Let me pull that off so you can see how that looks. This is the nipple that the red goes to under the intake. Right there. These BCSs are mounted to the side of the air box down here. They have 2 T25 screws in there if they're still original. These are no longer produced. I believe the 98 and 99 TCVs work the same way, so you can replace one of these busted things with a used one from another 850 turbo car or from a 98, 99 TCV. So just some more info on this valve. Here are the 3 lines that I'm putting on there. I'm going from the fender out. If you want to measure that way, the blue is blue, almost to the level on the light. The black is going to be yellow, right almost to the edge of the light. And the red is the red all the way over there. So let's go ahead and measure that. The blue needs to be 7 inches. The yellow needs to be about 14 inches. And the red needs to be about 21 inches. So there you have it. Add those 3 up and have the length of vacuum you need to hook up your BCS or TCVs. Since this is boost pressure piping stuff, valve stuff, I strongly recommend that you clamp or zip tie these lines on. I'm gonna zip tie the ones that I'm putting on. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.